Hi guys! Today is a requested video that I mentioned in my previous video actually on Wednesday. So this video was requested by Arizona Ghostwriters, my good friend Santi, and it was for this delicious German poppy seed cake. I was actually surprised because he's from America and I was surprised that he's requesting a German cake, which happens to be one of my favorite cakes to get here in the bakeries. So I was really happy for this request and wanted to make the cake right away. In this video, however, I'm not going to show how I made the yeast dough because I shared that in detail on the previous video. So my cake basics video from Wednesday, which I'm gonna link for you here now. So you want to have one portion of this dough ready for this recipe and then continue with the rest like I instruct in this video. The most important part of the poppy seed cake is the poppy seed filling. I have my egg yolks here and I'm just gonna quickly break them. So here we are making the custard. You could use a ready-made custard, but because homemade custard is so easy to make, I never buy the ready-made one. Add in the sugar and give a short mix again. Then you want to add in the flour. I'm just gonna add about half first, give it a mix, and then add the rest. So once it's all mixed in, it should be this thick paste. And then I'm gonna add in a little bit of vanilla, just about 1 teaspoonful, and shortly also mix that in. Then you want to start heating your milk, and for that time you can leave this aside. I have all of my milk in here in a medium pot and I'm just going to warm it up so that it starts steaming. So you don't want to boil the milk, just allow it to heat up, and once it starts steaming you want to remove it from heat. So as you can see, the milk is starting to steam, so now I'm going to remove it from heat. So then I have the egg custard mix here. And now you want to slowly start pouring in the milk, the heated milk. Because I'm doing this alone, I'm just giving it a short mix before adding more. If you have a helper, just continue mixing and the helper can slowly pour in the milk. So, doing the short mix again, and then I'm just gonna slowly pour in the rest. Then you want to take all of this and pour it into the pot where you had the milk. And now we want to start heating this while mixing it continuously, because now it's gonna start to thicken. So really keep it on medium heat. I had it actually on quite high heat, so it went really fast. So you can see it's thickening up. So it's putting like, and that's when you want to remove it from heat. We want to add the poppy seed now and give it a mix. And then you want to transfer it into a different bowl because the pot is really hot and it will not allow the mix to cool fast enough. So I want to transfer it into a different bowl and allow it to sit this way for 10 minutes. So my poppy seed mix has had a little bit of time to cool, and now I'm gonna add in the egg whites that we left aside when we were making the pudding, and just quickly mix them in. And once that's kind of mixed in, you want to add in the farina or semolina or cream of wheat, whatever you know it as, and also mix it in until it's combined. So once you have everything well combined, like you can see I have here, you want to leave this aside to cool before you spread it on the cake. And for that I have a quick tip for you. So I have a baking tray over here. You can use anything flat, and I'm gonna transfer my filling on this tray and I'm gonna flatten it out. What this will do is this will allow it to cool much faster than if I have it in a big bowl, because the surface of the pudding is spread like this and it has more surface to cool. So we don't want to be wasting any time. So once you have the poppy seed mix, the custard mix cooling, you want to make the crumble that will go on top. So I have equal parts of flour, sugar and butter here. And you could do this in a blender, but I prefer to do it with my hands. So you just want to kind of work it in your hands so that you get all of the ingredients well mixed in. So now you can see it's all mixed in. I don't have any flour there, so it's all mixed in with the butter. And actually with warm hands this is going to go quite fast and it's gonna start melting, so you want to be fairly fast. And now we are just going to pop it back in the fridge until we will need it for topping our cakes. And then, because this recipe makes 2 loaves, you could either divide this one and then make it separately, or you can just roll out the whole dough and then divide it once you've kind of filled it. That's what I'm gonna do. And here you want to really check the loaf pans that you're using. If you're not using a loaf pan, you can still make it the same way that I'm doing. You can also bake it just on a baking tray, so not a problem at all. But because I'm using the loaf pans, I've measured how long the loaf pans are, and I need twice 20 centimeter. So I still need to roll out a little bit. Then what you want to do is to grab the cooled poppy seed filling, and we are going to start spreading it on that dough. And then what we want to do is to spread it, but we are not going to spread it until the edges. So we are just going to leave a little bit around the edges free, so that we can then close the corners. So just spread it evenly, but leaving like a little edge free. And once you've kind of got it all around, you just want to go like this to make sure you have it evenly spread. And then I'm just gonna brush the sides a little bit with water so I can get them to glue together better. And then I'm just gonna start rolling. Actually, before I start rolling, I want to cut the dough so I can separate it and then start rolling this. So again, you can flour your fingers a little, and then you can just already at this point kind of seal the ends. So you can see the first go not so pretty, the second one looking a bit prettier. So I would suggest to use this kind of a scraper for folding the, or actually for rolling the dough. And then also it helps you to lift it into the pan so you won't break the dough like what happened with this one. But I'm sure this is gonna taste as good. Now you want to cover them again and allow to proof for another hour. So now what you want to do is to brush with a little bit of milk or with a little bit of water or with an egg wash. I'm just gonna brush with milk. So you just want to kind of brush the top. So once you will be sprinkling the crumble topping over, it's gonna attach to the milk. And then I have my crumble out of the fridge. I want to break it up a little bit in order for me to sprinkle it over. And now I'm going to pop these into the oven, and as always you can find the baking instructions from the link below in the description box. And once the cake is completely cooled, you can make the icing. I've made mine with a little bit of cherry juice, but you can also make it with orange juice or lemon juice. And then you just want to sprinkle it like this over the cake. So what do you think about this cake? I love the swirls or the pattern that was on the cake when I cut the cake, and I couldn't stop taking pictures. It took me almost an hour because I was just looking at it. It was so beautiful. I absolutely loved it, and I hope you also like it about this cake and will be making it. I want to mention again that the recipe for the dough for this cake is in one of my previous videos, which I have linked, and I will link it for you once again down below in the description box and also at the end screen. So you can find it there, you can find it in the cards, or you can find it in the description box. I hope you enjoyed this recipe, and if you did like the beautiful cake with the beautiful patterns, don't forget that thumbs up for support and subscribe for some more delicious recipes. Thank you for watching my video. Bye bye until next time.